This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. This injury to Demetrius Moorer stuns the Yardbirds nation and casts a pall over the team approaching the end of the third week of the 2018 Pecos League campaign. Demetrius Moorer collides with Monterey first baseman Matt Kuhl, sprinting to beat out an infield grounder in this Tuesday, June 12th game. The replay shows the first baseman stepping back and over the bag. Demetrius Moorer's impact with Matt Kuhl's hip sends him tumbling to the ground as teammates score, then look on in shock as Demetrius Moorer writhes in obvious pain, his left knee and lower leg suffering the most severe impact of the collision. Yardbirds manager Sip Garza rushing to his aid. The injury creates a 25-minute delay before paramedics can safely lift Demetrius Moorer onto a gurney and transport him by ambulance to the hospital. The injury very serious to the left leg of the Pecos League's leading base stealer. As for the contest itself, Kieran Whitfield, who had replaced Demetrius Moorer, comes so close to hitting it out and putting the Yardbirds up in the 8th. The sacrifice fly scores Shane Brown with the tying run. It is 6-6. Kieran Whitfield's hardest hit ball of the season sets the stage for Ronnie Grant's game-winning heroics in the 9th. Steve Longo has led off the 9th with a single. Shane Castro's ground ball to third results in the errant throw, sending Steve Longo to third, representing the winning run with nobody out. Ronnie Grant blisters the base hit through the infield. Steve Longo scoring the winning run, and the Yardbirds erupt in delirious pandemonium, celebrating the walk-off win that closes an emotional encounter and enables the team to release and expend the full extent of their nervous energy and anxiety over their injured, fallen comrade. It had been Demetrius Moorer igniting the Yardbirds offense with this stand-up triple. He scores his team's first run when Adolfo Espinoza drives him home. This game victory enabling High Desert to maintain its 2-game lead over Cal City in Pecos League standings. Backing things up to the win the night prior, we see more of Demetrius Moorer's contributions to Yardbirds' success. This High Desert come from behind, then hold on for dear life win over Monterey. Demetrius Moorer singles on the second pitch he sees, then steals second, with Amberjacks catcher Billy O'Hara opting to continue framing the pitch, not even making a throw, as Demetrius Moorer swipes his league-high 20th stolen base. Dominic Zayer promptly drives in Demetrius Moorer with the first run of the ball game, first of 3 base hits and 4 RBIs this night for the 25-year-old second-year Yardbird. Also first of 3 runs scored by Demetrius Moorer, who leads the Pacific Division in the runs scored department. High Desert bats fall silent the next 3 innings, though, and Monterey mounts a 5-1 lead. Demetrius Moorer getting things started in the bottom of the 5th. The bunt single and all the way around to third on the errant throw. Ronnie Grant drives in Demetrius Moorer with High Desert run number 2 and throws it into high gear, turning the base hit in the alley to a triple. Ronnie Grant's 2 run-producing base hits this game bring his team-high batting average to .517. His 20 runs driven in tied for the team lead with Shane Brown. Up steps Dominic Zayer, who steps into the fastball and drives it high, deep, up, over, and out. The 3rd round tripper of the season for Dominic Zayer, and the Yardbirds have pulled within 1, 5-4. Huge night for Dominic Zayer, whose 3 hits raise his average to .338 and whose 4 runs driven in give him 19 on the year. Dominic Zayer among Yardbirds about to leave the team to participate in the Can-Am All-Star Tournament. The Yardbirds take the lead in the 6th. Ronnie Grant's 2-run double scores Demetrius Moorer and Shane Castro. Hdsr has overcome the 4-run deficit to take a 1-run lead, 6-5. Dominic Zayer's pop-up drops just fair down the left field line, resulting in the RBI double. Ronnie Grant waltzing home from third. The Yardbirds' lead is 7-5, and I defer to the previous Video Sports online report to take us the rest of the way in describing Sip Garza's role and the teams holding on for this 8-7 win. One final action highlight from the Tuesday night of many highlights, walk-off win. Dominic Zayer's second home run in 2 games, his 4th of the year, on the eve of his departure to New York and the Can-Am All-Star Tournament, a leave of absence from which Dominic Zayer may not return.
Down Home Grill, Victorville, online sports report. Action highlights brought to you by the Down Home Grill. Burgers from organic grass-fed beef. Breakfast from organic eggs. Great food, homemade, GMO, and many gluten-free. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive, Victorville.
Week 4 of the Yardbirds 2018 season takes the team on an emotional roller coaster, bittersweet, appropriate in describing the developments. The week begins in exhilarating fashion. Manager Sip Garza, the winning pitcher, in a 1-run win over Monterey. The following night, the Yardbirds lose leadoff hitter and leading base stealer Demetrius Moorer to a serious leg injury before a walk-off win against, once again, the Amberjacks. Ronnie Grant continues his onslaught against Pecos League pitching. 25 games into the season, Ronnie Grant leads the Pecos League with a .525 batting average. Midweek begins a 6-game showdown series for first place in the Pacific Division against California City. Hdsr splits the first 4 of those whiptails encounters, ending the week at 17-8 on the year while maintaining a 3-game lead over the Whiptails. In the process, Hdsr scores a season-high 17 runs in a Friday win at Cal City. Shane Brown, one of 4 Yardbirds, hitting a home run out at California City's short field. 6 RBIs that game for the Yardbirds team leader.
But the biggest thing is just putting in the work in BP, and when you get here early in the cage, and then, you know, during the games, having an approach at the plate and different situations with runners on base, where to hit the ball. And I mean, a lot of guys have learned a lot already, and we've been doing pretty good, you know. Even when we're down, you know, we still battle till the 9th inning, and we've been winning a lot of games, so it's been a lot of fun.
Back at home Saturday, Jason Johnson Wilcoxon unloads this towering home run that launches Hdsr's 6-run second inning en route to a 12-4 triumph. The following night in the week-ending Sunday contest, Jason Johnson Wilcoxon hits 2 more out at Cal City, giving him 5 home runs and 18 runs driven in on the year. Sip Garza activates himself again in Sunday's Father's Day Game 4 of the 6-game marathon. The Whiptails win that game 11-9. Pitching highlights of the week, Jordan Norton goes to 3-0 with the Saturday night home field win. The 24-year-old Tennessean goes 8 innings in the victory, lowering his ERA to 2.18, second lowest in the entire Pecos League. Back on the bitter side of the bittersweet week, the departure of second-year Yardbird standout Dominic Zayer, who leaves to participate in the Can-Am League All-Star Tournament.
Yeah, so moving up to the Can-Am in the Northeast with the Salina Stockade. Last year they were in the American Association. This year they're over there in the Can-Am, which is pretty cool for me because being from the Northeast, that's great. I get to go back and play closer to home, and hopefully my family and friends can finally come see me play at the professional level.
Midway Home Solutions Action Highlights. This Video Sports online report presented by Midway Home Solutions. Cool solutions to beating the heat. Huge selection of scratch and dent air conditioners, refrigerators, freezers at closeout prices. Midway Home Solutions. High Desert's offense is again in high gear in Game 2 of its 3-game showdown with California City, a series that determines who leads the Pacific Division 2 weeks into the season. Newcomer Jason Johnson Wilcoxon joins an elite group of Yardbirds to hammer a home run in his first game in a Yardbirds uniform. Only Ronnie Grant last season performed that feat. The 6'2" Jason Johnson Wilcoxon played his high school ball at Claremont before attending San Bernardino Valley College and then Oklahoma Wesleyan University. The Whiptails lose their first base runner when Kyle Chavez knocks their Stetson off on the 1-3-6 caught stealing, 6 being shortstop Aaron Cook. High Desert scores 2 in the first run when Ronnie Grant just misses a home run with the laser shot off the wall. Demetrius Moore scoring easily from second. First of 4 RBIs this game for Ronnie Grant, giving him 11 on the season, tied for the team lead in RBIs with Shane Brown. Shane Castro hits behind Aaron Cook, sending his teammate to second with the base hit through the right side. They become 2 of the 3 ducks on the pond, or Yardbirds on the bases, for Ronnie Grant's second straight run-producing at-bat. Ronnie Grant stays back and rips the scorcher down the line, sending Aaron Cook, Shane Castro, and Demetrius Moore home. Ronnie Grant cannot contain his energetic enthusiasm any more than opposing pitchers have been able to contain his hot hitting. 3 more hits this game raise Ronnie Grant's batting average 20 points to .489. Walks to Jason Johnson Wilcoxon and Shane Brown reload the bases. Bradley Harmon singles to center, driving in Jason Johnson Wilcoxon behind Ronnie Grant, and the Yardbirds post a 5-run second inning to build a 5-run lead, 7-2. Demetrius Moore gets a running lead and easily swipes his 16th stolen base after leading off the 3rd with a walk. Testimony to this sportscaster's claim that a walk to Demetrius Moore is the equivalent of a double. The Demetrius Moore traveling show continues. He steals 3rd and trots home on the errant throw from former Yardbirds catcher Peter Penna. The theft of 3rd, Pecos League high 17th steal. 3 runs scored this game, team high 17 for the 24-year-old outfielder from Homestead, Florida. Aaron Cook drives in the next run for the Yardbirds, staying back and sending the base hit through the middle that sends Steve Longo home with High Desert run number 9. This is in the 6th. Jason Johnson Wilcoxon closes out High Desert scoring with the 2-run blast in the 7th. Ironically, Ronnie Grant scoring. These are the only 2 Yardbirds in the 2-year franchise history of the team to homer in their first game as a Yardbird. This series against the Whiptails concludes Wednesday night at Adelanto Stadium, High Desert needing to win to remain atop the Pacific Division. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Ewan Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. The defending Pecos League champion Yardbirds conclude their most critical series of the first half of the season, beating California City 7-5. The Yardbirds emerging from the 6-game set with the Whiptails with a season-high 4-game lead in the Pacific Division. The Whiptails series tests a Yardbirds team that loses impact players and role players to injury and opportunity, as this observer immediately declares the likes of Aaron Cook, Kent Blackstone, and Jake Marshall will have to step their game up considerable notches if High Desert is to remain atop their division. This trio definitely does, and they benefit from relative newcomer Jason Johnson Wilcoxon's emergence as a dangerous and powerful middle-of-the-lineup run producer. Let's start where Yardbirds' batteries needed recharging. When the team loses its backup catcher to a departure still unclear, too similar to abandonment to be declared retirement, frontline catcher Jake Marshall continues a tour of duty that includes catching every inning but one of every contest in the 6-game marathon set against Cal City. Jake Marshall, Sarge, by this sportscaster's reference for reasons you shall learn in this report. Jake Marshall responds in manner far beyond the call of duty. Let's get right to that origin of the Sarge nickname.
When I got to junior college, my entire team knew that I wanted to go in the military after baseball, and I would wear combat boots and a special forces pullover all over campus, and I had a combat backpack with patches on it and stuff, and everybody knew that I wanted to go to the military, so they called me Sarge. And that nickname stuck real fast. I think my sophomore year, yeah, they called me that here and there, and then junior year, I don't think people actually knew my real name, especially the young guys. They'd only refer to me as Sarge. And to this day, like whenever I call them or text any of my old buddies from JUCO, that's what they call me. So that was a funny one that I liked it actually. I really liked that nickname.
Jake Marshall's defensive play monumental. With Sarge behind the plate, Yardbirds hurlers can throw off-speed pitches with a runner on base without fear of the ball winding up at the backstop. At the plate, the switch-hitting Jake Marshall has raised his batting average to a season-high .333, hitting safely in every game of the Whiptails series. Also ripping Whiptails pitching, the youngest Yardbird, 22-year-old shortstop Aaron Cook. The switch-hitting shortstop emerges from the Cal City series, hitting a season-high .341.
My name's Aaron Cook. I'm from Littleton, Colorado. Littleton, Colorado. I started playing high school ball out there, and then ended up getting a scholarship to go out to Bloomington Normal at Heartland College. Played there for 4 years, and then played in the NBC World Series a few times. Played against the Kansas Stars and a bunch of guys like Chipper Jones, Jake Peavy, David Ross. Unbelievable experience. And now I'm back out here. Got an opportunity with the Yardbirds, and just making the most of it.
Consistency has been key to Kent Blackstone's success. The fleet-footed infielder has hit over 300 all season and is now the team's leading active base stealer with 17 stolen bases.
Is this team off to a better start than you expected?
Honestly, I think we're off to the start that I expected. The first game we played at Cal City, lost 12-2, and we were all like, we know that we knew the team that we had. SIP brought in some good guys. They had some returners, and I think we're right where we expected to be. If not underperformed at this point. To say the least. We're just confident in our team, confident in our lineup, and when the pitching's there, throwing strikes, and the defense is making the plays, we're a tough team to beat.
Through it all, the ups and downs, second-year Yardbird Ronnie Grant has led the march to the top of the division standings. Ronnie Grant leads the team with 25 runs driven in and a Pacific Division leading .518 batting average.
I-15 Auctions, sold on supporting High Desert Sports. I-15 Auctions, from estate auctions to high-quality used vehicles at low, low prices.
Terry Kurtz here, throwing you an invitation to catch the 30-minute action highlights program, your High Desert Sports Report, showing daily on the Victor Valley Television Network, VictorValleyTV.com. High Desert Sports Training's online sports report. High Desert Sports Training, the area's only high-performance TreadX 3030 treadmill and hip machine. Indoor batting cages. High Desert Sports Training personal instructors and coaches unparalleled in experience and effectiveness. High Desert Sports Training utilizes muscle memory and speed of contraction, developing a quicker, faster, and stronger athlete. Call to schedule a free evaluation. High Desert Sports Training. This video sports Yardbirds flashback recalls back-to-back 2017 walk-off wins against the Bakersfield Train Robbers and revisits closer Avery Brandon's revelation on how his becoming a Yardbird was something of a chance encounter.
That's how I got here, and I played summer ball with Chance Sharp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, he was actually one of my pitching coaches out there. So.
Yeah.
And that's how I got here, so I give big thanks to him, Chance Sharp.
The High Desert Yardbirds register their second straight walk-off victory. Dominic Zayer's deep drive in the 10th inning scores Shane Sharkey with the game winner over Bakersfield. The dramatic blast and triumph comes 2 nights after Bakersfield robbed High Desert of a walk-off win with a stunning game-ending double play, and 1 night following the Yardbirds' 7-6 walk-off win over Hollywood. The outcome moves High Desert 2 games over 500 with 11 wins in their first 20 contests. Avery Brandon earns the win, his second straight 2-inning shutout performance in his closer role. Shane Brown's drive to the Coors Light sign in right center had brought the Yardbirds back from a 2-run deficit in the 8th, driving in Nick Stoll to tie the score at 6. Blaine Swift's single over the Train Robbers infield in the 6th drives in Shane Sharkey with High Desert's 4th run of the night. Shane Sharkey, one of the hitting heroes in the night prior's walk-off win over the Stars. Shane Sharkey scores 3 runs this game, including the game winner. Dylan Kester's solid shot to left drives in Dominic Zayer to give High Desert a 3-2 lead in the 5th. The Yardbirds got after the highly vaunted Train Robbers right off the bat. Shane Brown's first inning single driving in Dominic Zayer with High Desert's first run of the ball game. Bakersfield comes in on the heels of a come-from-behind victory over Tucson that gives the Train Robbers a 2-game lead in the Pecos League Pacific Division. We have only seen 4 other Pacific Division teams so far in the early going: California City, Monterey, and Hollywood in addition to Bakersfield. But from what we have seen, Train Robbers manager Bill Moore must be the league leader when it comes to whining and bellyaching to the umpires.
Every day I have to cry, son. Every day I have to cry, son. Dry the water from my eyes, son. Every day I have to cry.
Yardbirds starter Jordan Norton strikes out Austin Hoffman to open the second. Jordan Norton is a just-turned 24-year-old out of Seymour, Tennessee, making his 4th start of the year. Abe Arias goes down swinging as Jordan Norton makes it back-to-back strikeouts to start the second. This will become his most impressive outing of the young season. When Jordan Norton fans Train Robbers pitching counterpart Daniel Alvarez with the high hard one, Norton has struck out the side in the second. Time was, seasons past, that striking out the side earned the home team pitcher a passing of the hat to reward his efforts, a tradition not yet reinstated this year. When Jordan Norton gets Train Robbers leadoff hitter Rupert Watson leading off the third, it gives him 4 straight strikeouts. Closer Avery Brandon registers his 4th save in Jordan Norton's win at Tucson. The 23-year-old closer is out of Las Vegas, and it was something of a roll of the dice that landed him with the Yardbirds, something of a chance encounter.
So I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I went and played at Legacy High School in Las Vegas, and after that I played at Lassen Community College in Susanville, California, and had a decent career there. And got blessed and wound up in New Mexico Highlands baseball, and actually played pretty good my last year there. So that's how I got here, and I played summer ball with Chance Sharp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, he was actually one of my pitching coaches out there. So.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's how I got here. So I give big thanks to him, Chance Sharp. And yeah, I'm having a great time out here.
Avery Brandon is a 22-year-old rookie with a 2-0 record to go with his 4 saves. This Throwback Thursday flashback is brought to you by the Community Table Restaurant and the Holiday Inn in Victorville, where every Thursday it's all-you-can-eat popcorn shrimp for just $9.95.
Everything went right tonight for me.
John Alonso sweeps to the top of the podium in this championship round 5 night of wheel-to-wheel racing, winning the Pro 500 main for the first checkered flag this season.
I won the first 2 heats, and I thought, this is my night. John, Aiden, something happened to his car. He paved the way. Bobby got loose. I got underneath him. We duked it out at the end. Bumped into him a little bit, but I didn't know he was there. But anyhow, I was determined to win.
So happy for you, John. Congratulations.
I'm happy.
The 56-year-old veteran races out of Orange. He has been racing wheel-to-wheel for 12 seasons. John Alonso was 2006 track champion. The Racing Chimney Sweeps triumph puts him in hot pursuit of the 2018 track championship. John Alonso is atop the season points total with 32, 6 ahead of second place Bobby Taylor. In the Intermediates main event, the Simpsons sister and brother act battle for the checkered. 8-year-old Stevie Simpson in blue 28 won the previous main event. Older brother Ricky Simpson, red 29, overtakes sister Stevie in lap 2 and wins the sibling rivalry to take the checkered. Ricky emphasizes his reversal of fortune by taking the victory lap in reverse direction. 23, Jaden Manchester finishes 3rd. The outcome places Ricky Simpson and Jaden Manchester in a dead heat atop the season points total, both with 28 points. Braden Struder is in 3rd with 24. Justin Taylor, 33, wins the restrictor main and pulls even in season points with Trent Johnson, both with 32 points, heading into the 4th of July Firecracker Spectacular. Cole Brown wins the Dirt Carts Junior main. Cash Culp finishes 3rd and remains atop the season leaderboard with 37 points, 6 ahead of second place Lydia Brown, 16. Senior Dirt Carts put on an exciting main event in the June 16th night of racing. 7, Effie Lucero, blue 14, Ryan Bond, yellow flag prompts a restart. Purple 77, Heidi Jo Erickson with the hot pink steering wheel. Lime green 17, Daisy Blaylock moves into 2nd before spinning out on turn 3. 41 is Jethro Blaylock. In front, Ryan Bond and Jethro Blaylock shoulder to shoulder in front of the grandstand. Then neck and neck heading into the home stretch before Ryan Bond overtakes Jethro Blaylock and takes the checkered. Ryan Bond's win moves him into 2nd place in season points with 31, but 1 point behind front-runner Jethro Blaylock. Son Daisy Blaylock is in 3rd with 22 season points. Racing begins 1 hour earlier on the 4th of July Firecracker Derby, starting at 5.
I-15 Auctions, sold on supporting High Desert Sports. I-15 Auctions, from estate auctions to high-quality used vehicles at low, low prices.
Kick tires, air tires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Ewan Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. Hdsr Sports Training, the Hdsr's only high-performance TreadX 3030 treadmill and hip machine. Call to schedule a free evaluation. Hdsr Sports Training. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting Hdsr teams, athletes, and sports programs. This is your Hdsr Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Showing daily on the Victor Valley Television Network, VictorValleyTV.com.